Hi, welcome to Eclectic Creation, and here's what's cooking. For those of you that normally watch, you might see a little bit of a different background today. Well, yes, it is a little bit of a different background today. I've got lots of things going on in the kitchen, so I've got stations kind of set up so that way I can knock them out easier. It's just easier for me to put things in stations when I got a lot of things going on in one day. So this is my yogurt station right here. Today I'm going to show you how to make homemade homemade yogurt. I've been getting a lot of requests, a lot of people asking how, and I'm particularly making it for someone that's one of my favorite people at church. He's an inspiring young man that leads the youth, that, leads the adults too sometimes. But so this one is for Micah. He is just one that's precious to my heart, and so he has been wanting to make yogurt, so I'm going to make him some so that way he can get a taste of it, and then he can go home and make his own and then share with me. So Micah, this one's for you. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. Things that you're going to need, very important. This is the star ingredient. You want to, if you're going to do a cold start, now if you're going to do your own pasteurization, then ignore this video. But this is for a cold start yogurt. And this is what you're going to need. You're going to need this right here. I use this brand, and so does, I think, every other YouTuber uses this brand because of the ultra filterization. It's because when you do the yogurt, it has to be ultra fine, ultra pasteurized, and all of that. And so this is ultra, and you want to get the whole, milk. And it's not really, I don't think it's really a dairy product. It's lactose free. I guess that's why I love making this yogurt, because I can actually eat it, and because I'm lactose intolerant. So this is really a great. They make good chocolate milk too. Love the chocolate milk. So what we're going to do with this right here, I'm going to put this down. Oh, another important ingredient. Now this is what puts it all together. You want to get a yogurt. You can get it flavored. You can do whatever you want. I use plain fave Greek yogurt. I use fave because it's the most natural out there that I know of. And you want to make sure that it has, I hope y'all can see that, but that it has it's live and active. So when you're choosing your yogurt, well, Sherry, you're making yogurt. Why do I need yogurt? Well, because it's just like making a sourdough bread. You need that yeast starter. And because you need the active, what did they call this stuff in the air? You need the active yeast in the air. You need the active cultures. And so you're not using a whole lot of this. You're using 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons at the most, but you need this, and you don't have to buy this big old thing. You can buy a very small one. Not small, but you know what I mean. You can buy the smallest amount that they have, because once you start making your yogurt, then you can start pulling from your own yogurt, provided if you don't flavor it. But one day I'll show you how to make Greek yogurt. Right, today we're just gonna do just a regular basic yogurt. So you wanna make sure that you have the ultra fine pasture or ultra filtered milk and a live active culture in whatever yogurt you choose to use. Okay, your third ingredient is going to be a full can of condensed milk. I know, people are like, why are you ruining it for us? Well, I use condensed milk. Now, here are some other alternatives. You can use, if you don't want to add that condensed milk, you can add any type of coffee creamer that's flavored, or you don't even have to add sugars to it. But I use the condensed milk now, and it tastes incredible. And it's, once you get it all together, it just kind of works it out. I don't know about the calorie count. I just know that I eat it every day and it's delicious. So, and we'll start exploring later down the road with how I make like my caramel yogurts and my other flavored yogurts. Well, I'll show you those later, but today we're just gonna do a basic yogurt. So what you wanna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and put this down now so we can go ahead and get started. Another thing before I forget, you don't want to use your regular lid when you're doing your yogurt. You want to use a glass lid. You can use the Instant Pot lid if you have one. But you know, there are so many pots and pans that you probably have in your cabinet that will fit this. You know, I didn't buy one of these lids for my big boy, my 8-quart, because I've got several lids that will fit that. So, you know, it doesn't have to be an Instant Pot lid. It can even be a plate. You know, you just don't have to use, you can use your normal topper if you want, but you really don't need to. So I just use this, I use it glass so I can kind of come and peek and see what it's doing, because it's interesting to start seeing it foam up. And you don't really want to stir it. You don't really want to do anything. You want to just set it and forget it. Really, that's all you want to do is set it and forget it. Okay. Make sure that when you're using your yogurt function, you have to use your yogurt function, and your Instant Pot has to have a yogurt function on them. I don't know if all of them have them on there, but it does have to have the yogurt function. If you want it, when you start your yogurt function, you need to make sure that it's for 8 hours. You can go less, and I have gone less. I have gone, when I've made half a batch, I've gone as like 5 hours, 6 hours. But it's a little bit runny. You know, if you don't mind the runny, hey, then, you know, you can go 5 hours. But if you're making a full batch like I am today, you want to go the 8 hours. And you don't want to skip on your yogurt. You want to use at least 2 tablespoons of your yogurt, maybe 3. But you don't want to use less than 2, because this is what's needed to get the yogurt to set. So very important. Make sure that you're using the adequate amount of yogurt. Now, don't overkill, but you know, between 2 and 3 tablespoons, you should be fine. I wouldn't go more than 3, but I wouldn't go less than 2. To be honest, I use 2.5. I'm right there in the middle. I'm like 2.5. I've done 3, and I've done, you know, less than that. And I've just seen, for me, the 2.5 works fine. Okay, so let's get started, because this is really, really easy. Now, what you're gonna do, you can take this lid off right here. Scoop this up. Put you down a little bit so you can see what's going on, because this is what matters. All right, so I just take my milk and pour a little bit in there. I don't pour the whole thing right away. Then I take my 2.5 tablespoons of yogurt, and just make sure whatever yogurt you're using that it has the active cultures. Very important. Okay, so don't forget that. You need to have those active cultures in there. Okay, and then I take my condensed milk. And if you don't want to use condensed milk, you can use whatever you choose to flavor it at this time, and then just add it. But you guys, condensed milk is, look, it was around before this other stuff was. You know, our grandparents and great-grandparents and their parents have used condensed milk. And so, you know, to each his own, but I'm going to use the condensed milk. So I'm going to take this and scrape. All right. And then just whisk that around. And it will not be as sweet as you think. It's not going to be as sweet as you think it is with the condensed milk. It's going to be, man, it's just perfect. And you're going to be able to taste the freshness. I mean, wow, I was like floored when I made my first thing of yogurt and saw how the difference in taste was between it being made fresh here at home and the store-bought yogurt. And then after about 3 days of having it, then you could tell it started to taste like the store-bought yogurt, which was still delicious. I mean, if it was store-bought yogurt wasn't delicious, we wouldn't buy it, but it's, you know. All right, so now you take the rest of your milk and pour it in here. And then stir it up real good. And we're gonna set it and forget it. I will be quite busy today, so I really won't have time to pay attention to it, but I don't need to worry about paying attention to it. Now, here, so that way maybe you can see the function. All right, I'm going to, well, you can't really see it the way that I've got the camera set, so you'll just have to take my word for it. I'm setting it on yogurt, and it already says 8 hours, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. I won't, I'll come by and take a peek at it every now and then, and there it goes, it's already set. And see, it's gonna count up in hours. So it's set at 00. See, it's set at 00. So when it gets to 8 hours, it'll tell you like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it counts up. It's not like the instant, you know, it's gonna count up. It's not like the pressure where it counts down, I think. So you just leave it like that and you walk away. There's really nothing more you need to do with it. It's covered. Now, when you take it, when the 8 hours is up, I usually give it a good stir. I take my little spatula and I stir it very well. And then I leave it in the pot. I don't take it out of the pot just yet. And then I stick it in the refrigerator. You want to leave it in the refrigerator at least 4 hours. What I do is I cook it at a time that it'll be ready by the time I go to bed. So that way I can stir it. The last thing I do is I stir it up and then I stick it in the refrigerator overnight because nobody's going to mess with it. Nobody's going to sneak a peek or sneak a taste or anything like that. And then in the morning when I get up, I can have a fresh bowl of yogurt. So you really need to at least let it cool or sit in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours or longer. The longer the better. And it'll get firmer the longer that it sits in there. And basically that's it. So I'll show you tomorrow morning when it's pulled out of the refrigerator just what it looks like. All right, thanks for watching. But we got the yogurt ready. So it's been a full day in the kitchen. I'm doing all kinds of good things. But let's take a look at our brownies. We got our fudge brownies that came out. So let's put this down just for a second. And we're just gonna take a look at some good stuff right here. Now, when you get these, I had pulled them out and they've been on the counter for almost an hour now. I've let them rest and kind of firm up, and so they've been on the counter for probably about an hour. Now what you want to do is you want to push them kind of, ooh, or not, that one's still kind of, and then just take it out and looky there, stick that right there, and then you just kind of pop them out. And if you need a little help, if they're still kind of stuck in there, you can use a spoon or something, but they should just pop out. Now they will be a little greasy because you did spray the pan and you did have butter. There is butter in them, so they might be, you know, just a little bit greasy, but just let them sit on the, you know, counter a little bit longer and they'll even firm up a little bit more. And they are very, very, very rich, very rich. If you don't like them as rich, you can use a little less cocoa, probably a half a cup or a little bit more than a fourth a cup if you don't really like the rich flavor. But looky there. Oh my gosh, you can tell how rich they are. Now, remember that this has more cocoa than it has anything in there. It has more cocoa than sugar, well, almost as sugar. It's got the most sugar, but they are going to be very cocoa, and they are going to be very rich in chocolate. They are going to be very, very fudgy. I mean, it's not like a regular brownie. They are going to be very, very fudgy. Look at that. I mean, just, and they are rich and they are delicious. Definitely goes with a glass of milk. Definitely need some milk with these things. But like I said, if you find them that the recipe is a little too fudgy, just cut back on the cocoa, or you can add a little bit milk. Now let's take a look at our cheesecake. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So creamy. Oh, look. Just look. Look how creamy. Oops, didn't mean to drop that. But this really is a very creamy creamy, creamy cheesecake. So if you like cheesecake, this is definitely the recipe for you because it is so good. And you don't need an Instapot to cook these in. If you can bake this in a regular oven, you can still use the same recipe and just bake it in the oven. But it is very, very creamy, very good. Now, let's take a look at the yogurt. Here you go. It's cooked, it's 8 hours. And now, we're going to stick it in the refrigerator. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to put my lid back on it. I might put some foil over it, put my lid back on it, and stick it in the oven. But look at this. Look at that. See that spoon? Look how thick and beautiful that is. Let me turn the light on. There you go. Look how beautiful that is. Man, and it's gonna be so good. I can't wait. But I'm gonna leave it just like that. Stick it in the I'll stir it up with I'll stir it with a little spatula or something, and then I will stick it in the refrigerator till morning, and then that will be my breakfast. But now that I've got the light on, take a look at this. Look at this creamy, can you see that? Creamy, creamy, creamy. And then look at this. Just beautiful, fudgy, very rich though, very rich, but oh, so delicious. And then we had our egg bites that I showed you earlier in the video. So we've had 3 things that we can cook in our silicone molds, and there's so much more. And stay tuned because I'll be showing other things that we can cook in here. I'm gonna attempt some type of muffin, I think, next. And so just stay tuned because I will show more things that we can cook in these. We got our yogurt. So we've had a full day. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Gonna be a little bit longer than most, but thank you for bearing with me, and have fun with your Instapot. Don't be afraid of it. Make the, just get in there, learn how to do it. There are so many excellent videos out there that show you how to operate the video, and there's there are so many YouTube videos out there with great recipes. So don't be afraid of it. Just go exploring and enjoy your Instapot because I'm telling you, you will love it. You will love, love, love it. It is a great asset to the kitchen, and it saves up a lot of time. So anyways, thank you for joining here at Eclectic Creation, and here's what's cooking, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.